Welcome back, FamZone TV and DEE-GAL, the DEE-GAL show, episode 3. You know how we do it, man. We do one week on FamZone, 1 week on DEE-GAL's channel. So if you haven't seen last week's one, go over to DEE-GAL. DEE-GAL talks football. Go and watch me and DEE-GAL going back and forth like we do. Most of the time we're on the same team anyway. It's us against the world, but most of the time we're on the same team. But you go and watch that one, episode 2 on DEE-GAL's channel. And episode 1 was on my channel, what was it, 2 weeks ago now. So this is episode 3 on FamZone TV. And we're just going to keep going, man. Like, right now, it's just everything's just looking up, isn't it? You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, everything's going well. Everything's looking up. We're breaking records. I mean, what are we talking about this defense record, man? This record is... Let me ask you a question, yeah? Are you looking at this record? Or are you just focused on solely just on winning this title?
Let's just keep clean sheets. Let's keep keeping clean sheets. I'm not focused on conceding goals. I'm focused on not conceding shots on target. Call it cocky, call it whatever, call it confidence. That's the main focus right now. I don't know about you. When Burnley hit the bar, I was like, shit, we almost conceded.
Oh, when they hit, you mean from the free kick at the end?
Yeah, when what do you call it? The goal when the penalty was ruled not a penalty, I was like, thank God. I was quite happy. But overall, I'm just like, I don't really get too disappointed by anything. I'm just excited to see these boys find another way to keep a clean sheet and get us a result. And I think the clean sheet is just as exciting as the goals nowadays, because we're like, you can see how much they want to defend, how well we defend. It's a skill, and it's another element to the game, which I feel like I've grown to appreciate.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. Big up Naf on the Ray. Big up my brothers Daps and Kaz, my broskies always. And Monts, obviously.
Shout out to all the men.
Monts and Soups and all of them guys. But you know what I was going to say? I agree with you, bro. Like, I feel like I've never, ever been an advocate for, like, defensive football or being steadfast at the back. But now I'm looking at it like I want to win the league. That's my first priority. And I want to beat the 15-goal season record as well. I really have no problem beating that record. Like, I want to beat every record there is. I want to beat the defensive record. I want to beat the attacking record. I want to beat top goal scorer records, assists records, through the line passes records, defensive block records. Every record there is, I want to beat it. If we're on track to break a record, I want to beat it. I don't care. At this point, they were saying that Chelsea in that 15-goal season, they only conceded 2 goals at this point after 9 games. Obviously, we're talking 3. We're on 3 at the minute. So I want to break all records, but I don't care. And the thing is about it, yeah, the only thing I've got to be a little bit careful with is, as much as we're flying high and everything's all about Arsenal and we're doing brilliantly, we are only 6 points clear at the top of the table. That's just a 1-game swing. You see what I'm saying? And Liverpool got buoyed by that performance yesterday against Real Madrid. Man City ended up coming through against Bournemouth. They got each other this weekend, and whichever team wins that is going to feel confident going into the next round of fixtures. You know what I'm saying? And our next round of fixtures are Tottenham, Chelsea. So I want to just stay focused.
Oh, don't forget Sunderland. Sunderland is not easy.
No, I'm talking about after Sunderland. I'm saying on the way after Sunderland. Yeah, of course Sunderland's not easy. I'm saying after Sunderland, the next round of fixtures, because they've got each other this weekend, Liverpool and Man City, innit? So I'm saying, regardless of the situation, is the next round of fixtures after the international break, people will be looking at, yeah, can you get through this? We've got Bayern Munich as well in between that. Aston Villa as well in that fixture run. It's tricky again, and they're all in a row. So,
you know, this is an interesting week because Sunderland at 5:30. It's not an easy game, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's not an easy game at all, man. That's not an easy game at all.
Sunderland away. What's their away record this season? They must be really. Their away record must be really good. And Granit Xhaka has them playing really well too.
Yeah, they're playing really, really well. They were second in the league before the round of the games. But I was gonna say, who do you want to win out of City and Liverpool?
I couldn't care less, bro. Just us win. We need to win.
You don't care who wins?
I don't care who wins. I'm not focused on anybody else. They could win every game. As long as we win, they're not winning the league.
Yeah, of course, of course. So
So
when you watching Tottenham Chelsea, who did you want to win?
when I was watching Tottenham Chelsea, I didn't care who won. I just wanted a little bit of a laugh after the game. And Tottenham turning on their manager. Some of the Tottenham players turning on their manager after the game was kind of funny. And
Yeah.
even Chelsea, the way that they won the game, they could have burst the door open, but they kind of just kept leaving the door slightly open for Tottenham to get a draw.
Yeah. I hear that.
I honestly do not watch Liverpool Aston Villa saying, "Oh, Liverpool's going to lose again." City Bournemouth saying, "Oh, Bournemouth's going to win." At this point, I'm like, Arsenal got their job done on the weekend. We beat Burnley. What happens, happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Especially as we did beat Burnley.
If we beat Sunderland, get another clean sheet, I couldn't care less. If City
So you are worried about clean sheets now. You do care about that now.
No, but I specified that. I do care, and I do want us to continue this clean sheet situation. One, for my fantasy team. Two, because my team is gonna then go on and win the game, most likely. I don't see us keeping a clean sheet and not scoring a goal in a game. We have multiple ways to score goals. And with Mikel Merino up top, we're going to probably talk about him in a bit. He's our fourth choice striker, and he's looking better than some people's first choice.
He's got a knack of being in the right place at the right time, innit? He's got this knack of, I don't know. I think that's the skill that you can't teach, man. It's a skill you can't teach that, bro.
Yeah, he turns into Frank Lampard whenever we put him up top.
Yeah, you can't teach that. He just knows where to be. It does change our gameplay a bit though. Without Gyökeres, we seem a lot slower and a lot you know what I mean? We don't stretch the defense as much, but he's just in the right place at the right time, this guy. And
he is so bad at winning duels. When it comes to like midfield duels, he can win them. But when it comes to being a striker and having to be play off the last man, try to get the ball off the defender, trying to win the ball high up the pitch, it's so different from the midfield. It looked awkward yesterday. But second half, bang bang, scored 2 goals, and it was just like he shut up everybody. Because I felt like first half we were saying we're missing Gyökeres. Second half I was like, Mikel Merino.
No, we did miss him yesterday though. We did miss him yesterday.
Yeah, first half.
Yeah, we did. yeah, first half. Yeah, it's true. It was first half we missed him, but going on to Sunderland, like you were saying. Away fixture.
Let me give you a stat. Let me give you a stat. Sunderland are the 6th best home record in the league. They have a better home record than Newcastle, a better home record than Chelsea, Tottenham, a bunch of teams, right? The only teams that are better than them are Liverpool, Man United, City, Bournemouth, and Arsenal. So I gotta respect their home record. But then I look at the games, the home games that they're playing.
Yeah, who did they play?
They've not played any top teams yet at their ground. They played West Ham, they won 3-0. They played Brentford, they won 2-1. They played Aston Villa, they drew 1-1. They played Wolves, of course they're gonna slap Wolves 2-0. And then they just played Everton, and Jai scored the first goal, and then they equalized with Saka's goal. So kind of analyzing Wolves, I'm saying to Sunderland. I'm seeing them. I'm looking at them, and I'm saying to myself, they have a good home record. They don't concede too many goals. They've only conceded 3 goals in 5 games. They've scored 9. They look threatening at home. Away from home, though, they're not the same team away from. They're not the same team away from home. That's where they dropped most of their points so far this season. They've dropped 2 losses and a draw in those 5 games, compared to pretty much no defeats and 1 draw at home. So clearly they have something going on at home. But take it to Arsenal, we have one of the best away records. Surprisingly, Tottenham has a better away record than us by 1 point. But that could change this week. You never know. As for Arsenal, we are one of the best teams away from home. We've conceded 2 goals away from home, one versus Liverpool, and the other one was versus Newcastle. I look at our goals scored, though. We need to get that up. We've only scored 6 goals away from home. How? I don't know. But
I think you're right. I think in terms of goal score, like I was talking to Stricto, we got Stricto, and he was saying he's not really worried about it. And I was saying I do want a few more open play goals and a few more, just not even open play, just more goals in general. I don't feel like we're scoring at the rate of a real side that really puts you to the sword. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, sometimes you got games where,
like last night, second half we put them to the sword. I want to see that more often.
No, I think last night was a performance that was to the sword, like you said, yeah. But then some games, like the Burnley, for example, the way we played in that game and how it was a comfortable 2-0. It should have really been a 5-0. Do you know what I'm saying? That should be a 4-0. That's where I think we become.
Saka could have scored 2 goals. It would have been 4-0.
Yeah, 2-1-1. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that's where you become a real great team, when those 2-0s are really 4-0s. But you're still solid at the back. But they're 4-0s and 3-0s. 3-0 sound, for some strange reason, 3-0 sounds very, very different to 2-0.
Because 2-0, 1 goal, you're in the game still. 3-0, even if you score 1, you're still sitting pretty. A 2-goal lead, even if you concede, is so much easier to manage. So a 3-0 always sounds like a battering. But lately, our wins are flattering to the opponent because we're so good defensively. It makes it look like it's close when it's really not.
Like you say, like Burnley, for example, where it was, because they had no shots on target again. They had that one chance at the end that was a free kick right at the end. But when people say, yeah, they hit the post from a free kick, you're looking at it like that was 97th minute. They had nothing for the whole game. Yesterday, for example, it was close to 10 minutes where they're hustling and bustling. But after that, they didn't have a shot on target the whole game again.
Talk about the games previous, West Ham, Fulham. Those games were not 1-0 games. We did not see any threat from Fulham or West Ham. Yeah. So, in my opinion, if that game ended 2-0, 3-0, I wouldn't be surprised. But the fact that it ended 1-0, on paper, it doesn't look as bad. But those teams are really good defensively. Crystal Palace, same thing. Crystal Palace, the game, what was it, 1-0?
No, but I think the Crystal Palace game is different. I think that
Crystal
game
Palace was 2-0, right?
No, it's 1-0, Eze. But I think that game,
yeah,
I think that's a different game though. I think the Crystal Palace, the West Ham one was different because I was at the West Ham game. That game was complete and utter total domination, and you can potentially say we need a few more attacking.
Palace gave us trouble, yeah.
But Palace is a completely different game. That game was a 1-0 game. Do you know what I'm saying? I think
I was strictly speaking about the West Ham Fulham game. I don't know why I brought.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I said 2-0. One of those games was 2-0. Which one was it? Which game was it?
What game?
Was the West Ham game the 2-0?
I can't remember. Declan Rice scored the West Ham.
Declan Rice and Gyökeres scored, yeah.
Against West Ham?
Or who scored in that West Ham game?
Who didn't score against West Ham? Gyökeres scored against Burnley.
Who scored the first goal? Was it Gabriel?
Rice scored the first goal, and the second, was it a second goal? Let me check. Rice definitely scored the first goal.
You know, these scores are. I'm already losing my brain. Yeah, we did win. It was Saka's penalty. My bad.
Saka's penalty. That's it. Yeah.
You see, there's so many games we're already losing track. I don't know how people do this. Like guys like Matt, who you just tell him a game, a year, a date, and he knows the score like that.
Well, there's a few people like that.
Yeah. I don't know how people can do that. Their brain's an encyclopedia.
Yeah, but you're different. You got kids. You got other things to do. You know, you might be trying to make more kids. You know what I'm saying? You got other things going on. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, listen, my learning disability will not allow me to use my brain for that kind of memory. Like, I'm already struggling. I'm already struggling to memorize some of the stuff I got to do at work. But yeah, when it comes to this team though. We said this a couple weeks ago, and I feel like every time I speak, it's very like, I don't know. I feel like people take me as a radical left wing or right wing person the way I speak about Arsenal.
Yeah, you are.
Because I say the same things that are being spoken about from the mainstream media. Mainstream media are bigging up our defense. Mainstream media are bigging up how Arsenal are getting results. We are the best English side in the Champions League after 4 games in history, based on how we've performed. No Champions League English team after 4 games has not conceded a goal and has won their every single game with a clean sheet.
Yeah, 100%.
Arsenal defensively were solid.
I think you have a right. I think what you do, I think you have a right to be as blunt and as straight to the point as you are and as outlandish as you are. The only issue that we have is the fact that we've got a history of not getting over the line. Well, not a recent history, should I say, of not getting over the line. I think that's
I think there's a reason behind that, though. And the reason behind that, City were just better than us. And we weren't ready to be in a title race in 2022, 2023. And then when we got injuries, the subsequent decline came. And it was predictable. Last season, the season before that, I mean, after that, the fall off was also predictable because the team was also still not ready. We still had Eddie Nketiah, who we had to rely on to win games for us. We still had Emil Smith-Rowe, who was in and out of groin injuries that we needed to depend on. We still had guys who were not reliable that we needed to depend on. And then we actually went out and tried to strengthen in the transfer window. We brought Trossard. We bought Jorginho. We bought these guys. We actually tried to improve the squad. We learned from the year prior. But guess what? It wasn't enough. It wasn't the same. It wasn't.
But that's not anyone else. That's not saying Man City's fault that Arsenal not ready or Liverpool's fault. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we went to the final day. I feel like Liverpool going to the final day gets more respect because they won the league the next year. But the fact that we haven't won the league yet, that season will still get criticized. The fact that we finished 3 years in a row second is a banter post to people who are finishing 10th, 12th, 17th.
Yeah, 17th and 50th. Yeah, but I think that's just the tribal side of it. Like in the real world, in the real football world, everyone knows Arsenal.
My point is bringing it back full circle to what you just said.
Yeah.
The reason why it's important for us to win the league this year, it basically validates everything we've done up until this point.
Yeah, precisely.
And for us to continue to grow and continue to improve from thereouts, we need to see how many of these guys we refresh, how many of these guys we keep, because now we have a squad that's very big. I don't know if we're going to keep this big of a squad next season.
Let me ask you a question. That's a good segue into this question. Let me ask you a question. Let me get to the point of because I've been seeing this a lot online recently, and I've been saying this for about, I don't know, probably the last year or so, but obviously people are clocking on now. It's about Ethan Nwaneri. Now, I've been saying when he was having his contract talks and everyone was talking about Nwaneri and he's the next superstar and stuff like this, I was saying I don't think he's quite ready. Not to bring it on a downer, but I don't think he's quite ready for this team. And I feel like he's not, I won't say going backwards, but he can follow the Smith-Rowe route if he doesn't quickly buckle up his ideas. What do you feel about that? Because he had a terrible game yesterday and he had a shocking game against Brighton in the League Cup. I know he ended up scoring the first goal, but he had a terrible, terrible game. I don't know what you feel about Ethan Nwaneri currently.
He's 18. He's 18. Well, I'm not overanalyzing his game. Off the back of yesterday, yes, maybe 6.5, maybe 6.
No. I think you're missing the point on what I'm saying. It's not.
No. I'm not missing your point. I get your point. This is how I would approach it. Personally, for me, I expect young kids to have bad games at times. Not every game is going to be a 10 out of 10. Not every player is Lionel Messi or Yamal.
No, you're missing my point. What I'm basically saying is, when he signed his new contract, he wanted assurances of game time, didn't he?
No, he didn't.
He did.
No, he didn't. That wasn't the reason why the delay. The delay was because he just came off a international tournament with.
No, it's not about the delay. It's about what he wanted. He wanted assurances. So anyway, let me carry on after that. Yeah,
bro, you're making claims. Do you know this? Do you know him?
Yeah, I do.
Do you know people who?
No, he wanted assurances about. He wanted to be more involved in the team, and not only that as well. You see, further down the line is our squad now. When Havertz, Jesus, because you have to remember when Neri wasn't in the team, he wasn't in the squad for Newcastle. So I feel like when Jesus, Havertz, Madueke, when they come back, they're gonna have to be. The squad is not going to be big enough to actually take everyone for the match day. So players are going to have to miss out. Now, I feel like the people that will naturally miss out will be Dalman. Naturally, I feel like that's an easy option to miss out. And I feel like Nwaneri is probably going to be on that list of missing out on most match days.
Okay, I understand that, but at the same time, it's not like he's 21 and he's still not developing. My point is he will get enough game time I do think he'll still be in and around getting 30 plus games across all competitions, be it a sub or starting. And I don't think I do think it would take a massive injury.
You think he's gonna get 30 plus games?
How many games? How many games? No, I'm saying featured in 30 games. I'm not saying he started. Yeah,
I don't know about that. That's a lot of games, bro.
How many games has he already been involved in this season? If you check that, you'll be surprised that I might be closer to what I'm saying, because he's already played.
He's probably been involved in like 6, maybe.
No, he's already played. He's already played 9 games. Sorry, he's
9 games.
He's already played 7 games in the Premier League. No, yeah, he played 9 games already, bro. By the end of the season, he'll easily have 30 plus games.
Yeah, but the game that you're talking about, are you including just?
He played 2 League Cup games. He played 2 Champions League games. He played 5 Premier League games. At the end of the day, he is still 18 years old. He's cutting his teeth into the first team. He hasn't established himself as a week in, week out starter who demands guaranteed 60 minutes a week, a game. So I don't think there's anything wrong with him or even Miles Lewis-Skelly.
No, Miles Lewis-Skelly is a different kettle of fish. That's not the same.
Still being in the
they're not in the same bracket, bro.
No, I get that. But my point is, I do feel like we are too eager to have these guys playing a lot of minutes. But the reason why we bought Havertz, the reason why we bought Eze, the reason why we bought some of these players in was so we weren't as reliant on Ethan as we were last season. And I don't think Ethan had anything to do with his contract delay, had anything to do with him asking for assurances or anything like that. I think it just strictly had to do with the fact that he played 37 games last season and they wanted to know what the plan was going forward. Is it that was just an accident due to injuries, or is he still going to be a big part of the team? And they see him as a part of the team, just not like the first row. You can tell by the picture when they took the club picture, you see where he was.
I agree with you in essence, but I think your balanced view that you've got of this is a mature, balanced view to have from an outside perspective. But if you're inside the club and you're Arteta and stuff like that, you've got to make those decisions now. Now, in the point I'm trying to make is he's 18 years old. If he stays at this trajectory that he's at, which I feel like he's just kind of just staying at the same kind of level, he's a quality player, but he's got talent. If we get to next season now, you will be looking at whether or not you need to upgrade on the position that he's in. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what it is. You can't be you're looking at in terms of like development and stuff like that. You have to now integrate players like Dalman. Now Dalman looks far more assured than Ethan does currently.
But that's also Dalman is our third choice right winger. Ethan's a midfielder.
No, see, this is the point I'm making. So where would you put Ethan as in the team? Where do you class him as?
Ethan's our second or third choice midfielder option in the attack.
But that's the point I'm making. But he's better on the right.
He is not playing as a right winger anymore. Since Max Dalman has been implemented into the team, Ethan is no longer being focused on developing as a winger. If you haven't noticed, he hasn't played much as a winger.
No, but that's the point. That's exactly the point I'm making. The point I'm making is Ethan on the right wing. If that was the case where they saw him as a right winger, they wouldn't have bought Madueke and implemented Dalman. Because they see him as a number 10, he is not ready to be the understudy to Odegaard just yet. He's not ready for that yet.
But that's why Eze is playing so many minutes. Now, my thing with Ethan, although I understand your point, this is where I am coming with it. He is 18 years old. He cannot afford to be making mistakes in a game against Burnley while we're in a title race. We can afford for him to play and make mistakes in the League Cup where we can still go and win because we have firepower off the bench to help us go and win those games. And he still has the capability in these games where we're going to be attacking a lot and we're not going to be facing as tough defenses like Crystal Palace. I think there's games and certain moments that he will be utilized more sparingly. At this moment in time, Mikel Arteta still has to protect the player and the talent from being a situation where he goes from exciting young player to he's a liability, get him out the team. Because if you play him every single week, as much as we play at Eze or Odegaard, best believe they're going to be talking about him the same way they talk about Garnacho at Man United when just before he left.
Yeah, no, I don't expect him to play every week. But what I do expect to see, I expect to see progress though.
I do think there's progress. I just think he's cutting his teeth in the midfield where he's played predominant majority of his career. And the reason why Max Dowman is the third choice left winger and right winger, and he's no longer a right winger is because of Dowman. Dowman is now the right winger backup young academy player. Ethan is cutting his teeth in the midfield. If he can't make it in the midfield in a year from now, we will have that conversation. But right now, I do think it's too premature to be concerned about his development or concerned about lack of game time or concerned about anything regarding the squad. The squad is a squad for a reason. You utilize everybody where they can be utilized and when they can be utilized. And right now, we have had, what is it? How many games in the league have we had? 10 games in the league? Nine games in the league. He's featured in 5 of them. We've had 4 games in the Champions League. He's featured in 2 of them. We've had 2 League Cup games. He's featured in 2 of them. He's only missed what 6 games out of all our games this season. He's played in every other game. When I put it to you that way, are you not? Don't you look at it and be like, hey, maybe I'm a little bit overreacting?
No. I look at what you're saying as, like I say, as a mature mindset of how you're looking at it, but it doesn't go with what's actually going on the pitch. Like even though he's featured in these games, he's been really poor in those games. So he hasn't featured to the point where he's helped the team. In theory, he's actually hindered the team. So when you're saying he's featured, that's
when has he hindered the team? I'm confused. When has he sat there?
Yesterday, he was the worst player on the pitch, ball, and for both teams. Like by a country mile, there's no debate. I know, and I'm agreeing with you in the term of this is not a Waneri. Oh, he's not good enough, because I think Waneri's got all the talent in the world to do anything.
Yesterday he had a poor game. Fair.
No, he didn't have. That's what I'm saying. He didn't have just a poor game though. He had. I'm looking at him and I'm looking at it like it now makes more sense to bring Dowman on if we need a spark than it does to bring Ethan on sometimes.
But they play different positions, of course.
No, I'm talking about in whatever position he's in. If I would rather play Dowman in the 10 than play Ethan currently.
You've not seen Dowman play the 10 for Arsenal yet.
But I've seen Ethan play in the 10.
Okay, so what makes you think? You've also seen Ethan play on the right wing.
He's better on the right. He's better on the right, yeah.
And we also saw Ainsley Maitland-Niles play at right back in midfield. It's not the same. You know what I mean? It's not the same. There's a reason why the midfield is a lot more difficult to play, because you have so many people around you. You have to be a lot more focused. You have to be a lot more physical, and you have to be able to deal with a lot more. When you play out wide, you don't have as much against you. You don't have as much coming towards you. You don't have to deal with as much calculations. There is a lot more to it. Now, obviously, I don't have to tell you anything about football. You probably know as much as me or even more. But when it comes to these guys specifically, I don't want to be over analyzing an 18-year-old off the back of a start away from home in a Champions League game versus a very physical side. There is going to be a learning curve, and these are the kind of games where the manager is saying, go out there, show me what you can do. If you can perform in these games, then I can trust you away versus Newcastle, away versus these guys. But right now, he's not trusted away versus Manchester United. He's not trusted away versus Newcastle. He's not trusted away versus some of these guys, because we need results. We're in a results-based business, and we're going for a league. We cannot afford to drop any points. And I don't fully trust Ethan to start versus Sunderland away from home. I just don't. But this is. I don't think we should. I don't think we should have to resort to now saying our third choice attacking midfielder, we should have 100% faith that he should start every game. I don't think anyone should.
Not start every game, but I'm saying the only reason why you have players in the squad is so that they're able to fill in, or you have players in the squad that you want people in the squad to start. You know what I'm saying? So you want everyone in the squad to be able to start. That's why players like Martinelli, but one sec. Players like Martinelli are good squad players because they're able to start. Players like Trossard are good squad players. They're able to start. Ben White, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Hincapié, Mosquera. I don't think Waneri is ready to start games, is what I'm saying. So what my point is, if this continues in the next year or so, there will have to be a new conversation about who can be.
We can get there down the line when he's 21.
No, but you want to get to it down the line because it's an easy conversation to have down the line. But for me, I'm looking at it now, how I can see what Arteta would be thinking right now.
Bro, we just gave him a contract. We're less than 15 we're less than 20 games into the season across all comps, and we're already talking about what are we going to do with Ethan in the future. I do think this is a little bit of a very reactionary conversation.
It's not reactionary. So I've been talking about this for like 6 months, bro.
You've been saying Ethan should be moved on for 6 months.
Say Ethan should be moved on. When did I say Ethan should be moved on? Did you hear me say that today?
No, but you're saying you want to consider talking about this down
I said
the line.
the point I wanted to talk about Ethan's trajectory because Diamond's come through and Ethan has gone down in the pecking order. And the funny thing about it is, don't think
Diamond has yet to do anything that Ethan didn't do last season.
All right, we'll come back. We'll come back to this conversation. Then we'll address it in a couple of months. And then
I think the excitement. I think the excitement about Diamond is because he's younger. That's really amazing.
Not about because he's younger. It's about how much more mature he is. It's nothing to do with his age.
That's the point. Bro, how can you say it has nothing to do with the age and then mention maturity?
No, because the point I'm making is Diamond and Ethan are swapping roles. Is the point I'm making. You're saying that it's his age. Because that's why people like Diamond because he's only 15. And I'm saying he's 15, but he's playing like a 25-year-old. Is my point. It's not about because he's just 15. It's because he's playing well above his years. It's not about his actual 15-year-old age.
Bro, it's the same thing.
If he was 25, we'd be having the same conversation, bro.
No, we wouldn't.
What do you mean we wouldn't? Of course we would.
It's because he's 15. That's why you're mentioning age. That's why you're mentioning above his years. That's why you're mentioning the fact that he looks so comfortable, the fact that he looks mature. You're mentioning things that are related to his age, but you don't even realize it.
No, I do realize it. That's not the reason why I'm talking about Diamond. It's like Lewis Skelly. Lewis Skelly is 18, but we don't have the same conversation about Lewis Skelly that we have with Ranieri. We talk about Ranieri like he's a young kid. We don't talk about Lewis Skelly like he's a young kid.
I just feel like we're looking for pins and needles.
That's what you have to do if you want to win the title, bro. You have to look for.
No. 1 second.
You have to nitpick if you're looking for perfection, bro. If you want to look for
nitpick,
you can't go, everything's all rosy and the squad's perfect because we're winning games. You got to look for where you can improve and to get better.
You nitpick how to improve that attack. You nitpick how to get more goals. You don't nitpick on what an 18-year-old is doing right now, saying, "Hey, we might need to move him on in 2 years' time if he doesn't improve." It's way too early for those kind of discussions.
I don't think so. I think
it's way too early for those kind of discussions.
I don't know, man. It's like at the beginning of the season, we were all talking about Trossard leaving, and then Trossard's proven us all wrong because Trossard's playing
fair fucking play to Trossard. The most
playing brilliantly right now, and not only is he playing brilliantly, I have no problem when he's on the left. He's the person I'm choosing to play on the left currently. You're the first choice right now. You're the first choice left winger, and everyone wanted him out. So Trossard has had a complete and utter U-turn because not only is he winning games for us, and he's actually playing well. Like overall, his overall football is playing well. He's contributing to the team. Yoker is the same. First 5 games, everyone's laughing at him. You look at him now; he's constantly involved in goals and games.
I said it when Eze signed for this club. That day, she told me everything I needed to know about the trajectory of this team's mentality and the owner's mentality and the players and everybody. Because when you bring that level of squad depth across the team, you can deal with injuries, and you now have people who are all fighting to get to work. And when you have people fighting to go to work, you know what's going to happen. You're going to get the best people. When you put pressure, some people, they crumble. But when you can relieve that pressure by taking them off, bringing in somebody else, when you can let fire under them because you're now motivating them to do better, it's so much more camaraderie in the squad. I feel like we have the most complete team in Europe. And from top to bottom, once this team is fully healthy, you guys are going to, or at least our attack is somewhat healthy, you're going to see we have not even scratched the surface of the capabilities of this team.
The thing is, the only thing with that is it's hard to say the most complete team in Europe. We're not top of the Champions League. Bayern have won every game this season. So don't forget that as well, because they're flying high. I feel like our team is capable of competing at the highest level currently, and I feel like we still need a couple of star additions. I feel like to really take this team to where it needs to go. Like I feel like we're flying high. Our defense is solid. Our defense is strong. We've got match winners in the team now because we've got Saka, Eze, Yoko. We've got match winners in the team, but I feel like we still need a star Hazard type player. Like Semenyo could potentially be like that, but I feel like we're just missing that star player. Saka is that, but I think we need a true superstar player. That's what I believe. I don't know what you feel about that.
I just think the difference between Bayern and Arsenal is very much down to the fact that their attack is a lot better than ours. That's really
but they've got a star player, haven't they? We've got Harry Kane. They've got a star player. Is the point I'm making. Every top team needs. I don't see how Haaland, Man City, or De Bruyne. Back in the day, Liverpool, Salah, Chelsea, Hazard, Arsenal, Henry. Everyone has a star player in their team most of the time. I feel like
one second. There's a difference between star and like the best of the best. Harry Kane is amongst the best in the world. Mbappe is amongst the best in the world, and his team doesn't win. You got Erling Haaland amongst the best in the world. His team didn't win nothing last year. So you can have some of the best players in the world and not necessarily win, but also still have some of the best in the world and win. Like Mo Salah, one of the best in the world, Van Dijk. There is certain players who get into most teams across the world. Arsenal have a couple players who get in most teams across the world. They just have not done it for as long as some of these other guys, so they don't get that respect. They don't get that.
Like Timber, for example.
Right now, I do think Arsenal, from the defense to the midfield to the attack, we have players who would get into most teams across Europe. The difference between Arsenal and Bayern Munich, the difficulty of the leagues, that is one difference.
Yep, definitely.
And another one is the quality in their attack and the consistency for the club for years. They have been consistently performing at a high rate for years. So they have a better winning mentality than Arsenal, where we have to grow this. We have to nurture this. We have to start it from the beginning and build it back up to a point where now, winning 10 games in a row, we're sitting here after 37 minutes and we haven't even waxed lyrical about our team's performances. We've just been mostly finding things to discuss that I feel like.
But that's what you got to do. Like, I don't think the waxing lyrical constantly is what's needed right now. I feel like we do enough of that. Like, we got me and you, for example, when we're on shows, panel shows, that's when we do that. I feel like when we're having conversations like this, like one-to-one Arsenal shows, like behind the scenes, if we were having a conversation with Arteta, this is what he would be having with his coaching staff. He's not going to be sitting there with his coaching staff talking about, yes, we were brilliant and we have only conceded this, and that's not the conversation they're going to have. They're going to be talking about, how can we improve? What do we need to do? What's this? That's how you improve. That's how you get better. So when we have these one-to-one shows, like I do with you, one with Strict or one with DG, I'm going to be having the conversations of what do we need to do to improve. So the same conversation I said to DG last Friday, and the same conversation I said to Stricto is what I'm going to ask you. What do you think we are missing in this team to make this team really complete? Because you can't tell me it's already complete. Yes, it's one of the most well-rounded squads, but what do we need to make it really complete?
We just need to win, bro. Forget about bringing in somebody else. We just need to win. Everyone's gonna. As soon as we win, a lot of these players' names and stature will increase. And the reason why I say that, we already have game changers in Saka. We already have game changers in Gyökeres, Gabriel, Declan Rice. We have game changers in this team. We just need to start winning. If Arsenal was to do a domestic double with the league or FA Cup or even a Champions League title this season, best believe no one will be saying we don't have superstars. They will then.
You're going too far again. You're going too far again.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying the players we currently have in our team would then be elevated due to the fact that they've actually delivered the set trophy or league title.
I get that, but what I'm saying is, if Arsenal win a domestic cup double, like the whole point of to be able to do that is to improve the team. So in January, like for me, this is what I said to DG.
January, we're not doing nothing.
No. See, this is where me and you disagree. In January, every time we have a transfer window, I want a player. We need to improve. You can never tell me the team's good enough to never improve.
Well, what we did in the summer, we stockpiled 8 players into the team without getting rid of too many. I believe that the January window will be Arsenal trying to shift out Gabriel Jesus, and potentially then just looking at lining up stuff for the summer. I don't believe we're going to sign a single player in January.
Yeah, maybe not, but that doesn't mean it's the right decision. Because in the summer, what we need to do in January is go and get Semenyo. That's what we need to do.
Why would we?
What do you mean?
Why would we spend 100 million on a player mid-season when we can get him at the end of the season for probably?
Because we can't think about the end of the season, bro. We have to think about now. January is in a month and a half or 2 months' time. We can't start thinking about the end of the season and getting him cheaper as if to say we've already won the league. We have to get him now to make sure we got the best chance to win the league. There's no point thinking about Semenyo in the summer when you can get him in January. I'd rather pay over the odds for him in January, so he comes in January instead of getting him for cheaper in the summer.
Okay, I don't think too much change in the January window is good. So I don't think bringing in multiple players makes sense. So I agree with you. No, I am agreeing with you. Maybe one player can definitely improve this team, and a left winger like Semenyo's quality could definitely improve the team. But in the same breath, you have to view it as the selling team would ask for a hefty fee because it's mid-season.
Don't mind.
They also Arsenal would have to pay probably around 100 million for a player who I don't value at 100 million. Now, would it make sense for Arsenal to go for Semenyo? 100%. Will we go for Semenyo? I don't think so. I think there would have to be at least 2 sales. There would have to be at least a Jesus and a Trossard or a Martinelli to be out the door before we bring in a Semenyo in the January window. And off the back of a summer transfer window where I felt like we did 2 windows worth of business, I don't think we are going to change it up too much. I think Mikel Arteta is set with the team for the year. And if we do business, I think it's going to be going into next year, because the calendar year, you can only spend so much money without getting yourself into financial problems. Do you think Arsenal will now go and spend another 100 million on one player?
If we want to win the league, yeah. That's what we have to win the league, bro.
I think what you're missing is we could be in such a stranglehold over the league. The league might be already done by February.
I know, but when you say that, yeah, you keep saying it as if to say things are a foregone conclusion. There is no foregone conclusion in this league.
I'm not saying there is, but at the rate that we're going, we are just.
We're only 6 points. Yeah, we're only. It's not like we're 12 points clear, 15. We're only 6 points.
End of the weekend, it will be 8.
That's one.
Come the end of the weekend, it will be 8, bro. Come the end of the weekend, it will be 8. Why are you doing?
That's fine. I believe that's a heavy possibility. But me, if I'm Arsenal right now and I'm the owners, I'm saying to Arteta, what do you need to almost guarantee this title? You want Semenyo? Let's go get him. That's a player that we need on the left wing. Go and get the best players right now to guarantee this, to go for the Champions League. We're in the best position right now to go buy players. This is one of the best positions we've been in the last 5 years, bro. This is one of the best positions Arsenal was in.
Take your head as a fan away for 2 seconds and look at this strictly from a business aspect. Gabriel Jesus and some other players have to be sold for Arsenal to be then going out and splashing more cash this window off the back of all the signings we made.
It's not this window, it's the next window. This is January I'm talking about.
No, I'm talking about January.
Arsenal, there's been rumors that Arsenal have got 120 million in January. What are you saying? What are you talking about?
Where did you see this? Show me the.
What are you talking about? This is rumors that Arsenal got 100 odd million.
Where did you see this? I've never seen this.
I thought it's about 3 weeks ago.
Bullshit, bro. I've never seen that. I'm not saying you. I'm saying they're bullshitting. There's no chance. They're coming out with numbers already. What are we talking about?
You're saying take the fan hat off. The fan hat is what I'm saying needs to be done. What needs to be done is we need to improve the squad when we've got the best chance of winning the league. When we're in a position of strength,
we already have the best squad in the league.
That's not the point.
We don't need more players to come into this team to try to gel more players into the team. What we need to do is when Havertz, Madueke, Odegaard, all these guys come back, is to find a way to get the best out of those guys. You don't realize we have a bloated squad. More players can bring more disharmony. It doesn't necessarily always mean a better squad. Sometimes when you bring in more, you can just bring in too much, and it can become a situation where we haven't
brought in too much. We had the smallest squad in the league last year. We didn't bring
right now we have more than enough in every area of the pitch to go on and win this league. I don't think we need to go out and splash 100 million on Semenyo in January. And I do think if Arsenal was to go and splash 100 million in January, they would probably sell both Trossard and Jesus to make room for that said player. There's no way.
You keep talking about Jesus, like Jesus has been playing. Jesus has been out for 8 months.
No, because I already view Jesus as somebody who's getting sold in January.
Exactly. So why do you keep talking about him? He's already somebody that's out the door when it's available. We don't have to worry about him. He's not part of Arsenal anymore. He's gone. Jesus is finished.
Stop. Same way how we haven't won the league yet. You can't say that about a player who's still currently under Arsenal's books.
No, but I'm talking about the thought process of the managers and the coaching staff. If Jesus comes back and is performing in training, then I guess they might, because they might be, you know what, he's there, might as well use him. But for me, as a person that has seen Jesus' injury record and his performances over the last 3 or 4 years, I'm not planning for Jesus in my team. I'm saying, listen, I don't have to beat Arteta. I'm doing the fan. I'm saying Jesus is, as far as I'm concerned, is not part of Arsenal. Semenyo is an Arsenal fan. That's who we need to get to make sure we have the best chance of winning the title. Yes, we're in a good position and we're playing well and our squad is good enough to win the league, but let's make the chances better. Why would we not do that? When you're meant to add on top of quality when you can. I'm not saying buy 5 players or 6 players. I'm saying what we do need is an out-and-out left winger. We all know that. And there's one right there that's an Arsenal fan that's performing at the highest rate, second top goal scorer, I think, in the league, at Bournemouth, an attacking team, so he can fit into our style. Why would we not go and try and get that player?
I just don't think it's going to logically happen. I'm sorry. I don't see a world in which Arsenal goes and splashes the cash in January off the back of the transfer window we just had. I do think they're going to probably, if we didn't splash the cash last transfer window when we needed a striker, I don't think we're going to do that this window, and I don't think we even need to. We have more than enough attacking options, and when Madueke comes back, Odegaard's back, Havertz is back, there's way more than enough players in this squad.
There isn't, though.
There isn't. No, but because we literally have 3 players in every attacking part of the pitch.
But you keep talking about the players. Okay, so on the right, we have who? Saka and who?
Saka, Max, and Madueke.
Dalman is not part of this.
He is. Saka, Max, and Madueke are part of the attack.
Okay, so on the left, who's the ones on the left? Trossard and Martinelli.
Trossard, Martinelli, Eze.
And in the center, in the 10, who is it?
We have 4 players. We have Gyökeres, we have Havertz, we have Jesus, and we have Moreno.
Jesus, bro. Are you being serious?
Jesus is whatever you want to say. He's still currently an Arsenal player. Same way how you said we haven't won the league yet. He's still currently an Arsenal player.
All right. So anyway, to me, I would feel like if we want to go on to win this league and actually get it over the line, we need to upgrade and get Semenyo. That's what I would say. And not only do we need to get Semenyo, we might actually need another central midfielder to cover Declan Rice.
Okay. Do you are you watching what's happening over at Liverpool? Do you see how long it takes?
I thought you're not focused on other teams.
No. I'm just showing you.
At the beginning, I said to you,
I'm giving you an example of how it takes time for players to acclimatize.
No, you're missing the point though. That's not related to Arsenal.
No, it is.
It's not though.
If you want to spend 100 million on a player in the middle of the season, it is.
It's one of the best players in the league. In the position that we need.
Still, if I'm not mistaken, Alexander Isak was one of the best players in the Premier League.
Alexander Isak. you can't say Alexander Isak as if to say Liverpool shouldn't have bought him, because that was one of the best strikers in world football. Whether it works or not is a different matter. But
I'm
any
not
club,
gonna lie to you. Right now, they didn't need him. They had Ekitike. They probably should have maybe got a left winger who could also play as striker. They let Luis Diaz go, who could play left wing and striker. Right now they could do for another left wing / striker player who could do both.
They could do, but every team needs better players, and every team needs a star striker. So
we have a star.
I know, but we don't have a. My point was we need a left winger. Was my point. We need an out and out left winger.
We have more than enough left wingers to help us win this league. You don't need.
So we don't need anything then. So our team is complete.
Not every team.
Is our team complete?
For right now, it's the most complete team in the world.
No. Is our team complete? It doesn't need any improvement then.
No, you can improve on it next season.
Where? What needs to be improved is my point. Tell me what needs to be improved.
On it next summer. You can improve on it next
summer. We've got a transfer window in January. Why are you talking about next summer?
Because you don't
we're trying to win the league now.
You don't need to go every single January and splash 100K on a player, 100 million on a player. It doesn't make sense.
You don't have to. But if we're in the position we're in right now, where we've got a good chance of this league, now's the time you spend when you're in a chance to win it. You don't wait till the summer and then say,
we did that in the summer. We brought in 8 players for a reason. I don't think there's any more room in the squad for another 100 million pound player, unless at least
there is. Of course there is.
No, I don't think there is. I think it's quite.
How many 100 million pound players do you think we have
right now? At least 6.
Who?
Let me go through it. First things first. You got Declan Rice. You got Bukayo Saka. Right?
Yeah.
That's 2 of them right there. Then, if I'm not mistaken, you got Saliba. You got Gabriel.
Yeah, that's 4.
That's 4. Then I would go. Odegaard was a 100 million pound player before.
No, he's not.
He was. Odegaard was a 100 million.
No. I asked you how many 100 million pound players we have now. You said 6. And that's 4. You've mentioned 4.
If Gyökeres is firing, he'd be considered.
Gyökeres is not a 100 million pound player, Gal.
If he's firing, he's considered a 100 million pound player.
What do you mean if he's firing? What does that mean? If he's firing?
If he's scoring the goals that he was scoring.
I'm trying to explain to you. This is what you said to me. We don't have enough space for another 100 million pound player. And I'm trying to explain to you. Of course we do.
I think personally, right now,
maybe you and Timber.
I'm 100% real with you. I don't think 1, it makes financial sense for the club. 2, I don't think it makes squad building sense to go and spend that kind of money mid-season and get a player to acclimatize.
Sometimes if it was 20 million, would it make a difference?
If it's a 20 million pound left winger coming in who's a prospect, like the Fofana guy from Lyon, if we were to go and get him, that makes sense.
That's the same squad building, though, Gal.
No, that makes more sense because 1, it's the level of impact a player of that kind of money comes in for, the level of scrutiny, pressure on that individual, plus the pressure from the club to have to continue to make that player work. And you then are no longer able to play the best team available. You have to play that player, and you have to give that player a lot more nurturing and get them to work. It's going to be a Havertz 2.0 all over again, just for us to get. Imagine Arsenal having to embed a player that is not already that is not acclimatized to how we play or anything at all, come into the team and have to get them sorted. The reason why Trossard worked so well is because he was a cheap price, and when he came in, expectations were not too high. He came in, he performed, he helped us out. I think if we were to have actually gotten the deal for Mykhailo Mudryk over the line, God knows what would have happened.
That's the benefit of hindsight. But what I would say to you is, don't rest on your laurels, innit? Because what you're doing, you're assuming that our squad is complete because we're top and we're playing well. Like, you feel like this is going to happen forever. And I would say to you, don't rest on your laurels. Always remember,
it's going to happen forever. But I think you are missing the fact that we don't have Madueke, Odegaard, Havertz in this team right now.
No, I'm not missing that fact. I'm not missing that fact at all. Even if we have them in this team, we still need a left winger, bro.
Where you were just saying earlier, where the minutes going to come for Ethan? Where do you think all the minutes?
Ethan is not Semenyo.
No. Where do you think all the minutes are going to go for all these other players?
Well, I'm not worried about where the minutes come from. I'm not. This is the league we're going for. I don't care about your minutes. I'm talking about Ethan as a young player's minutes. That's a two different separate convo.
How many attackers do you? How many attackers do you need?
What do you mean? How many attackers do we need? We need more. What do you mean? How many do we need? We need more.
We can get more as we continue to develop the team going forward. I think this team right now is perfect the way it is. We have the perfect balance of star players, and we have the perfect balance of players who are on the ups, and certain players like Trossard and Moreno who are a little bit older and experienced. We don't necessarily need to go and splash 100 million on a player, bring them into.
Why do you keep mentioning the price? It's not about the price.
Because the price has something to do with it.
It's not about the price. It's about Semenyo. It's not about forget the price. Forget the price.
If you bring in Semenyo in January, that's
exactly what we need to do. A guy that can play in the Champions League because he's not champion, because he can play Champions League, and an Arsenal fan, and a guy that's performing at the highest level in a position that we need. That's exactly who we need to buy in January. If there's one signing we need to make, it's that.
What we need right now is we need to get Saka backfiring. We need Gyökeres backfiring. We need to get Odegaard back to his best. We need to get Eze. We need to see more better from Eze. We don't need to go and spend another 100 million on some player who's not in the club. Get the players you have right already. Get them going. Stop focusing on other players. I know Saka's 100 times better than Semenyo. I know Gyökeres at his best is 100 times better than Semenyo. I know Odegaard at his best is one of the best midfielders in this league. I know Eze at his best is as good as Semenyo, or maybe even better. When Martinelli's on form, you know he's a baller who can come in and impact. Trossard can impact. Havertz can make impact. Madueke can make impact. Why do we need to go and spend another 100 million on a player who's outside the building? You have enough inside the building right now. It's not like we're depending on Raheem Sterling and friggin' Trossard and Ethan as our front three. If somebody gets injured, we have enough. You're taking it too far. You're thinking about let's get the next.
Taking it too far at all.
It's not always about getting the next big thing. You have enough. Get them going. Get them firing.
You're resting on your laurels, bro.
No, I'm not. I'm not resting on my laurels, because if you ask me to go and get Semenyo in the summer, I agree. Go get him in the summer.
Please stop talking about the summer. Please stop talking about the summer. The summer is please, because the summer is nearly almost
8 players.
Stop talking about the summer. The summer
is not a factory. You don't just bring in everybody.
Bro, a summer is about a year away. Stop talking about the summer. I'm not thinking the summer is not even in my remit, because by the summer the season would have been over. I'll think about the summer and the next season then. This time right now. Why do you think there's a January transfer window? Why do you think there is one?
Bro,
No. Stay on track. Why do you think there's a January transfer window? It's so that you can boost and enhance your squad and sell players. So do that. There's a reason why it's there. It's there for a reason. Use it. Use every opportunity that you have to boost this squad to win the league. That's what you do. You make sure the same thing we did with set piece coaches, and we used every little angle, every little thing we did. You do that with the January transfer window. You get rid of the players you need to get rid of, and you bring in players that we need. That's what you do, bro. If we want to win this league and the Champions League, we're in 4 competitions. We have to improve in January. Don't think that our team is perfect to go to the summer. It's not.
Guess what? We have new signings. You know who they are? Havertz is a new signing. Gyökeres, Havertz is a new signing. Madueke is like a new signing. Odegaard is like a new signing. All these guys haven't really played much this season. They come back into the team. They make us better. For you to sit here and say, DEE-GAL, we need to get better. We need to get better. I'm telling you, we can get better by just improving on what we currently have and getting these guys going and firing. I don't think it's realistic to go out here and say in January, we need to go and splash the cash and bring in a left winger to complete the team and get this team going. Our captain is not playing football right now. Havertz, who is one of our top goal scorers last season, is not playing football right now. Madueke, who's one of our summer signings, is not playing football right now. I don't think we need to go out here and sit here and say we need to go and splash the cash in January. This team is good enough to win the league. We have one of the best teams in the league and across Europe. I don't need more change. Sometimes just keeping things going the way that they are and improving minor details is enough to see you through and win major honors. We don't need to go out and splash the cash on Semenyo or anybody else unless there's a major injury to Bukayo Saka or Eze or something.
This is exactly the reason why we don't have Caicedo because of this attitude.
No. The reason why we don't have Caicedo is because the club does not want to spend.
Precisely, and it's the wrong decision.
No, stop it. You can't compare the two. You're comparing a situation.
We bid whatever.
No, you're comparing a situation to when we bid like 60, 70 million on two separate players. We bid over 80 million on two different players, didn't get them, and you're sitting here saying this is why we didn't get them. No, it's not about mentality. It's not about finances or mentality. It's about logic. This situation right now is different. We have enough quality. Back then, we didn't have enough quality. Right now, we have enough quality. I don't see the same level of quality across the board from other teams. I don't necessarily am focused on other teams. I think if we can just get what we have in our team firing to a level, even you will be sitting here saying, you know what, we don't need nothing in January. I
will never say we don't need anything, ever. That's never been my thing. I've never ever said, listen, wait. In my 37 year, well, I haven't been watching 37 years. In 35 years of watching football, because I started watching when I was 2 or 3, I've never ever said there's never a time when Arsenal don't need anything. Every January transfer window, I wanted a player. Every single summer window, I wanted a player, regardless of whether we were double winners, title winners, invincibles. There's never, ever, ever been a situation where I've ever thought we don't need anyone ever in my life.
And you know something? You don't always need to sign somebody, because sometimes you have a big enough squad and it can be a detriment to your team when you constantly add new pieces.
I hear what you're saying, but I feel like you need to improve at every opportunity. If you don't feel
sometimes improvement is just bringing back players who've been injured.
Bro, stop saying that.
Why? It's the truth.
You keep saying that? You have to improve.
Why does that annoy you? It's the truth.
Why do you keep saying sometimes bring back the injured player? Why are you saying that?
The biggest signing we can have from now to the end of the season is our injured players like Havertz, Madueke, and Odegaard coming back and firing at the best of their.
We know that we want to get them back. That's not the point I'm making. We want the injured players back, but we also want to improve when we can. I don't know what Arsenal fan doesn't want to buy Semenyo in January. Why are you against signing Semenyo in January? Why are you against that?
It doesn't make sense.
It makes perfect sense. He's one of the best left wingers in the league, and you don't want to sign him. Why?
Okay.
So if we could get Haaland, you wouldn't want him either. It doesn't make sense.
First of all, Haaland wouldn't leave City.
But if we could, would you want him?
Just to have another situation where now Gyökeres is wasted.
Oh, you are joking again.
No, I am joking. No, but in serious note, if you can get Haaland or something like that, absolute game changer, one of the best players in the world, sure. Semenyo is not that much of a needle mover. Why are we acting like Semenyo is a massive needle mover? He's the best player ever to come to Arsenal.
Because that's not that. I know we're going to finish in a couple minutes anyway, but what my point was that it's an opportunity to improve the squad in a player that we can get. It's not like I'm saying, I
don't think it's a realistic option, and I think we're kind of living in La La Land if we believe that.
That's all. Semenyo's not La La Land, bro. He's from.
I do believe that.
Semenyo is La La Land.
Bournemouth are not mugs, bro.
How is Semenyo La La Land? I'm not saying go and get Vinicius. I said Semenyo.
Semenyo is going to cost you 100 million in January.
And if that's what it takes to win the league, then buy him. What don't you understand about that?
What you don't understand is that's not what it takes. What it takes is having a consistent team that has camaraderie, cohesion, and knows how to play with each other. And bringing in another player in January just so we can have him for a couple months.
It's not so we can have him for a couple months. He's 25.
No, I get that. But you're saying you want him for the back end of the season, right? You want him for the back end of the season.
I do, because we need a left wing. I'm not saying buy a centre back.
I don't think
we need a left winger.
If you're saying this team needs a shot in the arm, they need something to improve the team to get them going. I'm saying first, let's actually see what the full team is capable of before we start making.
No, I get that, but the point you're missing.
More money. What are we doing?
The point you're missing is the January transfer window is only it's not like it's for the whole season, and we're saying the January window coming up. If you're Arteta now, what do you think's happening now? What do you think Arteta and the coaching staff are doing now? Do you think they're looking at players in January, or you think no, we don't need any more? What do you think they're doing?
I think they're looking at the January market, and if a market opportunity comes up, maybe they'll look at it. But I don't think they're really focused on the January transfer window at all.
Yo, come on, bro.
I think their focus. I think their main focus is winning the next game and trying to get the players they have healthy and finding a market for.
Obviously, I'm talking about the January transfer window.
Finding a market for Jesus to be sold. Trossard is not going nowhere because we just gave him a new deal. I don't see Martinelli going nowhere in January. I don't see any of our other players going anywhere in January. I really do think January is going to come and go, and we're going to be chilling.
All right. Well, you know what?
Ask the chat. Everyone in the chat. Everyone in the chat right now. I want to know. Would you
sign Semenyo in January or not?
No. Stop.
That's what the question is, bro. That's what the question is. Don't try and twist it. Don't you try and twist it, bro.
The question is, you've just listened to this debate for the last 20 minutes. Who do you think is right? Do you think D's right? Do you think D's right? Do we need to go and spend the money on Semenyo? Or do you think I'm right that the club won't do this and it doesn't make sense for us to
right, bro. Everyone knows I'm right.
Just add more for the sake of adding more.
Bro, everybody knows I'm right. Like any team that wants to guarantee, we have not won the league for how long? Any team that wants to guarantee,
I need to see if you agree with D, say D. If you agree with EGAL, say EGAL. I need to know. Look, you got one here saying EGAL is right, D is bugging.
He's trolling, man. He's trolling. He has to be trolling.
You said our loan signings in January makes sense. If we got injuries, it makes sense.
Trolling, man. They're trolling.
No, bro. Why is it trolling when they don't agree with you? If they agree with you,
no, there's only one person. I ain't seen no one else agree with you. I'm telling you, any normal Arsenal fan, if you say to them, "Should we try and get Semenyo in January?" they're gonna say yes.
Hey, bro, stop insulting a large portion of people.
It's not like I'm saying.
Well, I'm not a normal Arsenal fan now because I don't want Semenyo in January. What are you doing, bro? I don't think it's realistic.
Bro, come on, bro. Semenyo in January is exactly what we need, bro. That's what we should do. Come on, man. You're having a conversation about something.
Look.
I thought this was a basic convo. You turned it into a debate, man.
For the right price, somebody says, ain't saying.
Yeah, because he's thinking, of course you want Semenyo. He's an Arsenal fan. Of course he wants Semenyo.
Someone said Semenyo had one good season, gets locked up by a big club. Not 100 million. Who said that? Apparently they briefed the media saying 100 million. EGAL's going.
No, but that's what you came up with the 100 million price tag, bro. That's what you said.
No. I can bring you articles saying Semenyo
has got a release clause of 75 million. What are you talking about? You brought up the 100 million.
Bournemouth 100 million.
He's got a release clause of 75. So I don't know where you're coming up with random 100 million. Because he signed a new deal and got a release clause in it for 75 million. So you're coming up with 100 million randomly. Well, what's that got to do with what I said?
100 million.
What's that got to do with what I said?
Bournemouth want 100 million if he was to leave in January. But
75 million for Semenyo. I don't know why you keep showing me your phone. Why are you showing me your phone?
Look at that. Look at that sentence. Well, Bournemouth 100 million valuation would be.
Gal, come on, don't do this, bro. Gal, don't be like that.
What? You asked me where I get information.
Don't be like that.
Show you where I get my information from.
Don't be like that.
Yeah, some people just think I'm trolling. I'm dead serious, wallahi. I don't think it makes sense. All
right. Well, to me, I feel like we should try and improve in January because we're in a great position in the league. That's how I see it. I feel like any opportunity.
I think sometimes change is not always the best thing. And I do think if you have enough quality in your team, you should try to get the best out of them before you start going out there and splashing the cash on players.
I don't know why you keep saying the same thing, bro.
Because harmony and cohesion is more important than having the best player in every position.
We've got harmony.
Yeah, but
our team's fine. We've got harmony.
We could ruin that. Havertz comes back, he's not getting game time. Madueke comes back.
About people you keep talking about players that are not the same level of what I'm talking about. You keep doing that. You keep saying.
Excuse me. Since when is Semenyo 10 times better than Havertz? What are we talking about?
Oh, get out of here! Will you get out of here?
Semenyo has one good season at Bournemouth. All of a sudden, he's the best thing since sliced bread.
Havertz,
Come on, bro.
Havertz is better than Semenyo.
I rate Semenyo,
Oh,
but let's not
DEE-GAL.
act like
on,
Semenyo's
bro.
prime Sadio Mane, bro. He's not.
Hey,
Let's not act
come
like he's
on,
prime
bro.
Sadio Mane.
Come on,
I remember
seriously.
last season he couldn't hit a barn
Bro.
door. Let's not act like he's prime Sadio Mane. We're doing this all over again.
No, stop, man.
Get the best out of Saka. Get the best out of Saka. Get the best out of Gyökeres. Get the best out of Eze. Get the best out of Odegaard. Get the best out of your best players before you start saying, "Let's go."
This whole stream you've mentioned Havertz and and what's his name, Jesus, and you mentioned those guys, and I'm saying to you, bruv, like I'm not going to compare Havertz and Semenyo, bro. Semenyo is playing for Bournemouth, ripping up teams. Havertz is a good utility squad player. I'm not comparing the two of them.
Havertz is our starting
65 million. 65 million was that overpriced? What's 65 million overpriced? What's 65 million overpriced for Havertz?
Looking back, no.
No.
Yeah. This is what the going rate is.
This is what you do. Now you're making me debate and you're making the stream go longer for no reason.
Bro, if fucking what's his name is
he's on 265. He's on 285. Is that not overpriced?
Do you okay? His wages are, but
what should his wages be?
His wages probably should be around 150, 180.
100 they should be. Maybe 50. And not only that, one sec. He's how much do you think he's worth at his price? How much do you think his price should be worth? How much as a player do you think Havertz is worth?
Bro, if Alanga's going for 50-something million, I don't think Havertz for whatever we got is ridiculous now. Looking at how the market price has changed, the players are averaging going for 50 now. Dead players are going for
Alanga was overpriced, bro. Alanga's not a 55 million pound player. I said that at the time.
For what Havertz has given us in the return over the last 2 seasons.
What's he given us? What's he given us? A couple of goals here and there.
He was one of our top goal scorers, got 20 plus GA, and was helping us. He was helping lead this team to a title race that led to the final day of the season. He's no scrub. Let's not act like he's a scrub.
Havertz is a squad player, isn't it? He's a bench player, isn't it?
Now he's a squad player.
No, that's what he should always have been, is what I'm saying. You don't pay 65 million to 85 a week for a bench player.
There is no guarantee that we sign Semenyo and he gives us the same performances that he does for Bournemouth.
I know, but you're looking at Semenyo and you're looking at him like the value for money is far but greater than Havertz. You're not comparing the two. They're not equatable, bro.
But you know something? You're also not equating the difference it takes when you're the best player in a team. You're taking all the penalties, you're getting all the free kicks, you're doing everything through you compared to being in an Arsenal team where you have to be a sum of the parts. It's not the same. For Arsenal to go and splash the cash on Semenyo, there's no guarantee. There's not enough time to train with the team and get ready. And he's going to have to go and play Premier League games, help us win games right away in a title race. It's too much pressure, hard work to get that player and acclimatized to the team. I think it's better off Arsenal. Do not go and splash the cash in the January window. Focus on improving the players we currently have, or else we'll just be in a similar situation to Liverpool, trying to get the team to gel after being top of the league and tossing it away because we signed a player thinking he's going to help us, and next thing you know, it hinders us. I don't want to take the risk. I think there's more risk in squad cohesion, having a player having to acclimatize to a new team mid-season without a proper preseason and everything else, and also taking a player from a Bournemouth team and having to play against in an Arsenal team that's completely different, that faces completely different types of defenses. It's a lot. It's not the same. It's not the same.
I've got more faith in Semenyo than I have in Havertz.
And you know something? I have more faith in Mikel Arteta figuring it out with the players we currently have in the squad than going and splashing the cash on January.
You know what? If he signs Semenyo, I don't want to see you celebrating him signing Semenyo in January. You're now in the league other camp when it comes to Arsenal winning the league. You are not allowed to celebrate Semenyo signing for Arsenal if it's in January, bro.
Semenyo's not signing for Arsenal in January. Arsenal's not signing anybody in January unless it's a young up-and-coming player, in my opinion.
Anyway.
Well, hey, you're already here first. You might as well skip the January transfer window. Nothing's happening.
Anyway, big up the gal, my brother. The gal show, episode 3. You know what we do. If you're on FamZone TV, make sure you go watch it on. Go over to DEE-GAL Talks Football and like and subscribe over there. If you're over there, make sure you come to FamZone TV and like and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, next week, Wednesday, 2 till 3, we'll be on the Gals channel, episode 4. You know what I'm saying? But we're out, my
No more
G's.
Semenyo arguments, I promise.
Yeah, come on, bro. That's my guy anyway. That was my boy.
No, but yo, we need to